Hey guys, Robert and Ingrid here, and we're back to revisiting a little bit about King Kong and Peter Jackson King Kong. Probably now that we've gone over the other ones, the best of them by comparison. Doesn't make it
Yeah,
great itself. In fact, it's still a boring ass movie.
it's still very boring, but boring, and you probably still need to watch it on 1.5 speed. But it's still better than a lot of the initial Kongs that
Yep, you could definitely
we've
tell
done.
Peter Jackson was a fan. He loved this, and it showed. And he got a lot more things right than either of the other outings.
Indeed.
A better, best female lead,
Yes, that's definitely true.
and in this movie, best one. Jack Black surprisingly good as Carl Denham, I still say.
Indeed.
Jack, on the other hand, still a plank of wood. I
Hmm.
never could care for Jack,
Yeah, no, it's very hard to make that work.
but Denham and Ann, great. Kong, magnificent.
Yes,
Kong,
absolutely taking advantage of the special effects of the era there, as a Kong movie should.
the natives, great natives.
Yes, definitely a lot
Feels more
more.
like feels more like what natives would be like stranded on this planet. They wouldn't look at like, ooh, ooh, ooh. They'd be like,
Like, they're saying something. They are saying something intelligible. You just can't understand what it is, because how the frick would you know that if they're an isolated tribe?
and they're so isolated they are barely functioning.
Hmm.
Would you agree? Like they act more on instincts throughout most of their lives. To the point, remember we had the one kid just go, and then they all reacted. They
Yeah.
just jerked their wrist a little, and they're like, ah! And of course, the moment then when Anne screams, causing Kong, they're like, basically, the one translation was, "You called the beast too early. We're not sacrificing our girls. You're sacrificed." Because
Yeah,
they
that
triggered.
makes a lot more sense out of the situation.
Exactly. That was the thing. Sorry. That was the thing. Jackson filled in a lot of the gaps.
Hmm.
Also, he kept the idea of the island thinking from Son of Kong.
Hmm.
And they kept the idea of Kong with the last of its type. And again, Anne's relationship with Kong made more sense. He saved her, and then she entertained him because of her vaudeville skills.
Yeah, kept
And
keeping the fact that the
because basically,
original lady
yeah,
was an
yep.
actress.
Not only that though, but she knew I'm gonna die if I don't do something. Because she saw all these other bones, so she realized, yeah,
Yeah,
Kong was probably gonna kill her, and if she didn't entertain him.
so she improvised.
Exactly. But she was still like when he's like, ooh, ooh, and it's like, no, that's all there is. Roar! And then when he saved her life, I still love that bit where he said, like, you don't have to shake me or anything. You know, he felt like such a man. You know? Then that's how it was after he saved her. He's just looking away from her like, you don't have to shake.
Yeah.
Am I right? He was just like, don't shake. You don't have to shake. You know what I mean, right? I mean,
Yeah,
Andy
no, I
Serkis
could see that as being part of the monkey brain,
Andy
definitely.
Serkis did such a great job, but he gave him a bit too much of an intelligence. And then you have,
Yeah.
oh God, remember now the capturing? So much of it worked here, and then him stuck in the when they went to New York. Great,
Mhm.
all of that was great, except for the ice skating portion. That
Yeah.
you had okay. I remember when we watched it. Remember we all agreed each of the sequences worked, and then dragged. Then we would change, and it would be like, ooh. In fact, the
Yeah, it's just
island.
like you could have trimmed a half hour out of this movie
Well,
and gotten
we
something
did watch the
better.
extended version, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe we should have just watched the default version.
Unfortunately, they don't have that option on what I had, so
Ah.
sorry. But and then the action, both fighting the T Rexes and the climax were great. Especially Kong running around, knocking buildings and everything. Recreating old New York was, mwah. Yep. But then, and yeah, the big climax on top of the World Trade Center was great.
Hmm.
And it felt more realistic. And I love how Kong swatted down a couple of the copter and the planes. but still happened. But it fell here. Overall, this is the best one by comparison of the initial originals. And the acting was the best acting here.
Mm-hmm.
The effects, spectacular. And best Kong. If I had to pick, I would say best Kong.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, but I suppose that I can sort of cut this movie a bit more slack because of what comes later because of it.
Yes, definitely. And thank God Peter Jackson only joked about doing a sequel.
Because it's just like, good, you know where to stop a story and when it's done, rather than artificially continuing it just to try and make more money. Very good.
Exactly. Well, we're going to be going into the monsterverse of Kong, probably our favorite in overall, as we go into Kong Skull Island. See ya.